I travel universities with someone who would be my arch enemy when it comes to ultimate reality and the ground for ethics, Peter Boghossian. And we're partnering together on viewpoint diversity and cognitive liberty at the universities. And it's interesting, in doing the hard work, sometimes we can find commonality and alliances in the strangest places. A few examples. This week I was listening to some of the podcasts that came out of the Secular Student Alliance annual conference, and one of them in particular was some of their attorneys on the issue of religious liberty and how they have partnered together, how they have opposed certain people, like they called it idol worship, like Richard Dawkins, for certain things he claimed to equivocate on transgender and transracialism. And so they took away the Humanist Award from him that they had given 25 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But they talked about two senators, I think, and one of them you mentioned in your book, a Republican and a Democrat, that they got to partner on something. And they mentioned a case that we together partnered in, a Supreme Court victory last year in Georgia. I thought that was rather interesting. We were on the same docket, on the same side as them, and we did win. Yet at the same time, we're in litigation directly against them right now with the Biden administration's Department of Education, where it's about free thinking. We're the free thinkers. And, you know, we even partner with others, let's say, in philosophy. And so, again, this is the good citizen, but the good of the culture, the good for us in terms of the university. I travel universities with someone who would be my arch enemy when it comes to ultimate reality and the ground for ethics, Peter Boghossian. And we're partnering together on viewpoint diversity and cognitive liberty at the universities, where in his case, he doesn't get along with the Secular Student Alliance anymore, and he used to be one of their heroes. So it's kind of interesting how some of these alliances happen. But if we look at the principles that you outlined at the beginning of the book, and that Christians do have in general with many people that are in the world, even though we think we have a better foundation for it, there are certain things you can't not know in terms of moral principles. And there's a lot of good human trafficking laws, or something on water systems, or free speech, or something like that. There's a lot of area where we can partner with people that we ordinarily wouldn't agree with, and trying to be good citizens, I think, must take that into consideration. Well, so to wrap up then, you consolidate your thinking around the emblem of a five-sided star. I like that. What purpose does that star satisfy? What does it represent?
Sure. And this was, again, trying to come back of someone that's been engaged in the public square. So there's so many different opinions. And I just want to step back and say, as a Christian, what should I promote in the public square? And so I just came back to the created order. Mm-hmm. And so the center of the star is the Imago Dei, the fact that we are all created in the image of God. And because your organization's name, I think, has a Latin root, I'm happy to say that as lawyers, we like to use Latin words just so we sound smarter. But the Imago Dei, the fact that we're all created in the image of God. And so at those five principles, and in the book, I set out the biblical justification for each of these, but the sanctity of life, then ethnic unity and justice. The Matthew 25 principles would be the third one. And so care for the poor, the prisoner, the immigrant. They're in Matthew chapter 25. Those are things that we should care about. But then also you have the issue of the biblical sexual ethic, both on marriage and also sex/gender, mm-hmm. and then religious liberty for all people, not just like a Christian liberty, but actually religious liberty for all people. And so all of those principles are connected and strengthened by the fact that we're made in the image of God. And that's good, like not just for us, but for all people. And one of the things that this star did for me is that it helped me even internally answer the question that I'm sure you have thrown at you all the time. And that is, well, aren't you just legislating your own morality? The idea, and it's this like subjective, selfish thing. Oh, well, you live in a plural society, but you as a Christian, you're just trying to foist your beliefs on everyone else. But what this helped me settle in my heart is that if I am promoting these principles based on the Imago Dei, the fact we were created in God's image, then I am not legislating my own like selfish morality. Rather, I am promoting God's principles in an institution that He created in government. And I can be confident that that is not just good for me, but it's actually good for all people. And so that has just helped me kind of formulate, all right, here are the things I'm going to promote. Christians may disagree in the application of some of these. Some of these principles are more what I might call kind of straight line, the sanctity of life. But when you're getting into, say, something like maybe immigration policy and how exactly some of that stuff is going to work out, there might be a difference in Christian conscience. But at the core of this is the fact that we're all made in the image of God.